Let them also know our culture. So the last one we did.
Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate. My name is Uche. I'm a Nigerian and I live here in Spain with my family. Yes, from the thumbnail, you know what we want to talk about is about abroad, about Africa, and about our kids that we gave birth to here that have lived their lives, all their lives, more or less, most of their lives here in abroad, relocating to Africa. So I saw one video of one of my sisters here on YouTube, Neku Mobi. So she has a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and her daughter is a small 9 years old, I think. She's 9 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But she just said she was thinking aloud in her video. And okay, let me say what she said. She said that recently that she called her children and told her children that they were relocating. She's a Nigerian as well. So that they were relocating to Nigeria and the children were not having it. Like they said that they would not want to go, that they have lived all their lives and everything. So that kind of made her start thinking, like, of course, if you're an African, of course, you know you're an immigrant, you're a visitor here. So at some point, one day you're going to retire. So for us Africans, Nigerians though, I don't know about other African countries, we usually, if you're wise enough, you know that strength goes down, it doesn't go up, and at some point you're going to retire. So what we usually do is to, if you don't have, if you don't already have a home where you can lay your head, you have to prepare that in case they tell you to run or they chase you out of the country that you're living, so that you have a roof over your head and maybe you have one or two investment at home, so that when you retire, you have something to lay back on. So she was now saying, if eventually you retire, and yes, death is inevitable, and you die, and these kids you gave birth to abroad refuse to go home, what happens to your investment in Nigeria? And yes, for me, that's why I keep saying it, that's why I like anything I come across, no matter how it is, I'll try to pick a lesson from it. If you're living abroad and you've not thought of this, perhaps your kids are still small. Like my eldest is 12, not that I've not thought about it, but I've not thought about it as deep as I started thinking about it after the video. Do you understand? So if you have not thought about it, perhaps your kids are still small. So I think it's something we also have to think about now, So I started thinking about it. I'm like, because she made the video on a Friday. So on a Saturday, my husband was at home. I called my husband and I said, look at this video I saw, and I explained to him. He said, like, she has a point. And we started discussing it, which I want to talk about what I feel we Africans, in diaspora, can do to, to ease that tension of our children not wanting to have anything to do with, our country. Do you understand? After that video that Saturday, like I said, after speaking with my husband said, okay, let's call our children. So we called our children. We are like, I told them, I want, in case, for example, we decide sometime this year and say we'll relocate, how will you feel? One said that he will love it because of the stories that would tell them about it. They want to go to Africa to see all those nice stuff, and we talked to them about, and one of them said, visiting, yes, for now, but relocating immediately, that he will not like it because he want to know, he wants to go there to visit and know how Nigeria is before telling him to relocate, because he has his friends here, so he needs to travel, little by little, make friends there as well before telling him that we want to relocate. And that's kind of one of the things I also want us to discuss. And again, there was something we did, my husband and I. So we started asking them. We asked our children, where are you from? Because some of the children we give birth to here, if you ask them where they're from, they will tell you Nigeria. The rest, they don't know. So we called our children, we asked them, where are you from? They said Nigeria. Where in Nigeria? They said Imo State. We asked them, where in Imo State? They got it for. After that, our village, they don't know their kindred. They don't know all those deep ones. So that was how for the first time, because we, in our discussion with them, we still chip it in, but we have not really in depth told them these things, which is very, very necessary. If you doubt me, we'll pause this video, call your kids and ask them. Let's know. Do it and let me know in the comment section if they were able to tell you, they were able to get correctly their village and their kindred, like us in Nigeria. You have your village, you have your kindred, the name of your kindred. Pause this video and call your children and ask them. Let's see whether they can get it. That is, if you also will still remember. Okay, so after asking them, they got to a point and they stopped, as I think after the village stuff, they didn't know everything. So we now told them, and after then I've also kept asking them once in a while. So these are the things, quickly, these are the things I feel we have to do just for our children to be aware of where we come from. First of all, I want us to, like, I know this one might be a bit difficult, like traveling with our children. Like my son said, traveling for the meantime, yes, but relocating immediately, he wouldn't really, and nobody will. Nobody should. A place you have not gone to, you say you want to relocate, taking kids there. So I think for us abroad, we need to, like, be taking our kids home once in a while. And that's one thing I've observed about the Indians. We have, neighbors and my colleagues. I noticed that they travel at least once in 2 years or once in 3 years with their family. That's this thing. I have a neighbor here since we became neighbors 5 years ago. They've traveled twice. I know it's difficult. Like I said, I am into it, so I know it's difficult travel, especially for us that have more than 2-3 children. God, it's not like they are giving us discounts for at least the kids that are underage. As long as immediately your child gets to 2 years, the child pays the same, pays for a seat. So what you're paying is what your child pays. You can imagine how much that will cost. But for me, now I'm thinking that, having property is an achievement. Achievement is not only that one. Taking your family home too, that's a kind of achievement as well. Taking them to know their roots is also very important. Okay, that's one thing I also want us to be doing. Like I said, it might not be very difficult, but as much as we can be taking them home once in 3 years, once in 4 years. I feel we should be. And another thing which I feel is also very important is to say good things about our country. Yes, I know that our country, we have our bad side, and the media also is not helping at all. Do you understand? So I think we have to say, as much as we create that awareness of the insecurity and some other things in Africa, let us also show them the beauty of our country. Because in school, what they also portray Africa, like Nigeria, is maybe that Africans, we still live in, they live in the bush, they live in this kind of animal, live in Africa and all that. There are, I can tell you, I used to tell them that the house that some of us live here, that when you leave, go to Africa. If it's, let's talk about homes, you prefer the homes in Africa, as I'm talking to you, Nigeria precisely. The homes that you live there, like I told them, the day you travel to Nigeria, maybe if you come back here, you will be asking yourself, is it the other way around? Is that place abroad or this place abroad? Because in Africa, we are used to living in big houses. Do you understand? And abroad, they are very economical. They don't feel the need to waste land and space. So they are always cautious of their spaces and all. So let them see also the beauty. As we are telling them the bad side of our country, let it not only be the bad side. They kill this person. Yeah, you create that awareness, but let them also see the beauty of our country. There are people that were born in Nigeria, raised in Nigeria. The money they made in Nigeria is massive. And there are people abroad that cannot buy a house. And there are people that made their money in Nigeria that can pay for house, cash. So let them see those beauty. Let them see the beauty of our culture. All those things. What you hear all the time is part of what you believe and what controls you. Do you understand? So that when it's time for them to tell them, let's go to Africa, they will not be too scared. They will be aware, but they will not be too scared. The next one I want us to also try to be doing is also, if you have in school that time we used to call it murabu. If you have a community, like a cultural community, where there are community, like we have one here, you have responsible men there. What they do is just to promote their culture. As much as these kids are here, let them also know our culture. So the last one we did December, that our kids danced, we asked them questions. We asked them questions in our language. We played our music. There are one or two things they asked them. What is your name? In our, promoting our culture, our lingua, like our language, and all those stuff. When they come there, they mix up with, because in school they don't mix with, do you understand? They mix with a lot of people. Everywhere they go, they mix with a lot of people. But when you bring them in that community, they also, belong. They feel among, and they understand certain things that would do. I think that not the least. It's not the least, because I expect you to, or what you think in the comment section. If you are living in Nigeria, please, I want you to also leave your comments so that we can rub minds. Because for me, this is very important topic for us living abroad. Okay, so the last one, but not the least, is rooting your children in God. Sometimes I hear, my personal opinion, I hear people say, I don't go to church, I don't like going to church. And I'm like, if I have the opportunity, which I have now to tell you, even if you don't want to be rooted somewhere, it's in the Bible. Get yourself rooted somewhere. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your children. It pays, and it's very important. Because why I say that, for me, even for me right now, my issue is not necessarily for my children to go live in Nigeria, because it's only God that can direct their path. There are people that were raised in Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria, because they are rooted in God. God was the one that directed them outside the country, because anywhere God directs your path, He will make a way for you there. Do you understand? So make your children be rooted in, let them have a personal relationship with God. Especially, when you're in Africa, where Christianity and church is exposed everywhere. Somehow, even if you, I believe if you choose to put your child in the church in Africa, your child will stay. But somehow, maybe in school, a friend can evangelize to the child, and the child might be saved from there. But in this abroad that we find ourselves, especially, for where I live, I've told you before in my cultural shock, where I said they don't, go to church. So they prefer to go to discotheca and all these social clubs, and that's where you see them. So at old age is when they think they should go to church. So that is not what I want for my children. Do you understand? So here they are exposed to a lot of things. So the earlier we root our children in God, the better. I remember Bishop David Oyedepo, his first son. There was a time I heard him. He said one of the best gifts his parents gave them, was making them have a personal relationship with God, because he said he left their home early in life, and that was what even gave him his direction and where he is now. So I personally believe if we root our children in God, when the time comes, God will direct them on where to stay. God can direct somebody's path. Your child can grow here and all his life is here. If he understands and have that personal relationship with God, if God directs him to go home, he will not have that fear, to go home. But if he's not just gallivanting, he doesn't know where to start, he's just living the normal casual life, he will not mind whatever it is you're doing. And I'm not sure that is what we wish for our children. That is what these things I feel we can do for our children. And the worst part of it, when Africans say this with so much, passion about the property they have at home, is sometimes your relatives, they don't help matters. You can have you can make money here and tell your relative, please, I want to build a house. And the relative is making mansion for you with his own plan in mind. Yes. The heart of man is desperately wicked. The plan you're making, you think you're building house for yourself. You don't know that relative is building with his own plan at home. And when eventually you finish building that house and you tell the person you want to come back, the person will be the one, that your relative will be the one telling you, Nigeria will not be good for your children. Now, why do you want to bring them back? Do you understand? That means they have plans of taking over what belongs to you. Why they are building, Do you understand? Their heart is that you will eventually not come back. I shall be your children, these ones they born, they are not going to come back and all the. But when you leave everything for God, that person that thinks you will die, you will not come back. He doesn't know if he will be the one to die first. Do you understand? I think these are the things I feel we have to do, to make our children understand the importance of knowing where they come from, even though they are here. There are children you will see. I've seen a child raised in America. You will not even know, apart from the accent, from the behavior and everything, you will not even know that the child, is raised in America. So these are the few things I think we can do our children. We will do our part. At the end of the day, the rest belongs to God. The rest of the whole thing belongs to God. And another thing she mentioned there is that some people are living in one room abroad because they are building or they are investing a lot of things in building in Nigeria, which is also good. Building in Nigeria is good. But I want to advise my brothers in diaspora, my sisters, if you have opportunity of where you live, you have the opportunity of acquiring property, you can acquire that property. It's not a waste. Especially if you're living with your family abroad and you have the opportunity, don't deprive yourself of that. You can get it. It's your own. The one you have in Africa is also your own. Don't deprive your own of where you live. You don't know when you retire. Do you understand? If you have the leisure and you like the place you live, why not? Don't hate yourself that much. No matter how little it is, it's your own. Why you also build whatever it is you're building in Nigeria. Okay, yeah, that's what I came to share with us today. Please, I keep saying it, leave your comments in the comment section. And yes, I will see you very, very soon in my next one. Bye-bye.